as we watched a herd of wild Indian elephants. These are the Sri Lankan subspecies, which rarely has tusks. It's an endangered species, suffering from both the loss of habitat and poaching. The Hindus believe these elephants to be the embodiment of Ganesh, the god of good fortune. Indian elephants, like their African counterparts, are very vocal animals, emitting a variety of roars and trumpets. Despite appearances, they are excellent swimmers, sometimes swimming between islands. They will feed all day long, eating over 400 pounds of fodder a day. Coming down from the dunes, we wound our way through the scrubland. After a bit, we encountered a small group of Hanuman langurs. We stopped further on for our best look at the rose-ringed parakeet. In the fields nearby, we found our only great thick knee. Except for the southwest part of the island, it's found in the coastal plains of Sri Lanka. It's also found in India and Burma. more langurs. This one was having lunch in the road and finished a full course before moving on. From here we entered a muddy area, which was quite exciting at times. We were allowed to film in the easier sections, but we had a good driver and soon came to a lagoon with a lesser adjutant. The range of the lesser adjutant extends northward into South China. It's a big bird, being about 4 feet tall. In the marshy areas nearby, we find a flock of painted stork and several gray heron. While we watched, a water buffalo worked its way across the wetland to meet its hungry calf. Crocodiles were basking along the edge of the wetland. In the shrubs nearby, black-headed ibis and gray herons were roosting. In the brush directly over the water, we found cormorants and common kingfishers. Whistling ducks, stilts, and crocodiles can be seen in the background. The little cormorant is also known as the Javanese cormorant. At one time we were almost convinced that these birds were Indian cormorants, but note the shorter, stouter bill. Both species will show white on the throat, and both have different color feathering behind the eye. As we left the park, we found barred button quail. Although this species is found throughout South Asia, all the way to the Philippines, this race is endemic to Sri Lanka. The barred button quail prefers the dry zone, where it's typically found in scrub lowlands. This is a great example of dust bathing. The reason birds do this is still in dispute, although it's generally believed to be a way of controlling mites and other parasites. Bundala National Park is a little over 6,200 hectares in area. As we left the park, we looked forward to the next day in Uda Walawe National Park, almost 5 times larger. But before we called it a day, we had one more stop, the white-naped woodpecker. This is another endemic subspecies. Besides Sri Lanka, this woodpecker's range is limited to India. It nests in tree cavities, especially in palm trees. It feeds on tree trunks, as you see here, and the ground. Uda Walawe National Park is a magical place, a place of peacocks and large elephant herds, which is quite a treat. There are fewer than 3,000 wild elephants left in Sri Lanka. It takes about 5 square kilometers to sustain a wild elephant. In all of Sri Lanka, there are only enough protected lands to support about 1,500 wild elephants. The numbers are not promising. The broad-tailed grassbird is found in southern India. Prior to this video, there was no confirmation that it was found in Sri Lanka, although it had been reported several times. The behavior you see here, perching on a long grass stem, is typical of this species. Besides Sri Lanka, the ashy purina is found in India and Pakistan, north to the Himalayas. This is an endemic subspecies. Black-headed Muna and blue-tailed bee-eaters were along this section of road. It was here that we had our best views of both species. As we drove along, we encountered small groups of elephants. It really felt like we were on safari. It was in this area also that we had striking views of lesser adjutant and Indian peafowl. At Bundala we had been quite a distance from the adjutant. Here it was different. We encountered two golden jackals as we drove along. It's a smaller animal with a body about 2 feet long and a tail of about 1 foot. Their diet consists of fruit and some vegetable matter, as well as birds, reptiles, and mammals. The pallid harrier is found in Sri Lanka in the winter. Otherwise, its range extends throughout much of Europe, Africa, and Asia. It hunts in a fashion similar to the North American northern harrier, hovering above its prey of small reptiles, amphibians, and birds, before dropping rapidly to catch them on the ground. We had seen Richard's pipit before, and then as now I was struck by how tame that species is. In this video, you are able to see its extremely long rear claw. This endemic race of the purple-rump sunbird also happens to be the nominate race. This species is also found in India and Bangladesh. A changeable hawk eagle watched the proceedings from nearby. The Malabar pied hornbill is one of those exotic species that we all hope to see when we travel. It's also called the lesser pied hornbill. Its range is restricted to the drier areas of Sri Lanka. It's also found in southern India and Southeast Asia. The great white pelican is a vagrant in Sri Lanka. It's found in parts of Europe, Africa, and Southeast Asia. As we moved along, we began to hear more elephant trumpeting. In the trees along the road, we found rose-winged parakeets and more hornbills. Soon we were in the midst of a large elephant herd. Elephants of all sizes and ages were all around. Sometimes they acted a bit agitated. Sometimes they appeared to be trying to intimidate us. Sometimes they circled their calves. Mostly they ate and showered themselves in dust. After an hour or so, the herd moved on, and we traveled on as well. Changeable hawk eagle, and fish eagle watch the wet area from overhead. Turtles and water buffalo shared the same series of pools. The water buffalo were clearly enjoying the water and did not wish to be disturbed. Next to the pools, we found a striped-necked mongoose, a creature that did not match my image of a mongoose at all. This species has a range which is restricted to Sri Lanka and southwest India. They are known to live for more than a decade and subsist on a variety of small animals. The nest of the bayou weaver is as exotic as that of the New World oropendulas. We had a chance to watch a pair weave one of these wonderful nests. They feed and nest in flocks and are found in South and Southeast Asia. They eat both insects and seeds. We left the park in mid-afternoon and traveled westward to the foothills to the southeast of Colombo. Here we spent the night. Around the hotel grounds, we found both white-throated and stork-billed kingfisher. Also on the wires, we saw a chestnut-headed bee-eater. They are found in India and Southeast Asia through to Java. Red-vented bulbuls stopped for a short rest. They are found throughout the Indian subcontinent. Yellow-billed babbler was scavenging in the neighborhood trash heap. It's also called the common babbler or the white-headed babbler. Its range is restricted to Sri Lanka and South India. This is another Sri Lankan endemic race. By a small stream, we found a white-bellied drongo. This endemic subspecies is also called the white-vented drongo. There are two endemic subspecies in Sri Lanka. This species is also found in India. The next morning we headed toward Colombo, stopping at a wetland along the way. We quickly found roseate tern and cinnamon bittern. The tern is found in many areas of the world. The cinnamon, or chestnut bittern, is found throughout Sri Lanka and India, through China to the Philippines. This can be a difficult bird to find since it is shy and often nocturnal. Cattle egret, which is a cosmopolitan species, rode the backs of the domestic buffalo, and intermediate egrets lurked in the reeds. Little cormorants splashed about, competing with the buffalo. Sighting Sisticola was up to something in the reeds beside the road. There are two races in Sri Lanka. This is probably the endemic race, Amalura, but it's very difficult to tell. This species is found in much of the Old World. It eats insects which it generally catches in the low vegetation it inhabits. In some of the open areas, we saw pheasant-tailed jacana and purple swamp hen. The purple swamp hen is found in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Indonesia, New Guinea. It will often hold vegetation up with its claws as it eats. The next morning, we visited a wildlife reserve north of Colombo. We took a boat through the canals, an experience which was both exciting and frustrating. Frustrating because we missed video of both long-billed sunbird and black bittern. Along one of the open sections, we found an Indian cormorant, also called an Indian shag. It's a species which is found throughout India and Southeast Asia. In Sri Lanka, it's absent only from the highlands. Nearby was a common tern, a cosmopolitan species found in much of the world. We spent some time along the edges of a mangrove and were able to observe seeds and seedlings. Not far away, we found a yellow bittern, which has a range which extends to East and South Asia, as far as Japan. In Sri Lanka, it's absent from the highlands. The yellow bittern is generally found in reed beds and in waterside vegetation like this. When alarmed, it freezes with its bill pointed upward, like other bitterns. The local fishermen were using a technique I had not seen before. I got the gist of it quickly, but I don't know how effective it is, since they never caught anything. Heading back in, we stopped to watch a little grebe fish and feed its young. Back at the hotel, we prepared for our departure from Sri Lanka and birded the grounds. We had a great opportunity to watch blue-tailed bee-eater and Indian pond heron. There were lots of food sources for these birds. We had not seen a lot of butterflies and dragonflies elsewhere. On the wires, we found the nest of a purple sunbird. It typically avoided the nest when we were nearby. Its range is quite widespread, being found from Iran through to Southeast Asia. With that, we were off. Sri Lanka is a wonderful country with friendly people and exciting birds. Be sure, however, to check diplomatic channels like the U.S. State Department before you visit.